is the bubble cycle, this 4-year cycle, or the next one? My guess is actually probably the next one. It's kind of going into that 2030 is when I think we kind of go too far. But let's see. It could be this cycle too. And we could, let's say, as opposed to having a large correction in technology when liquidity is withdrawn, let's say we have a sideways to down 20% bear market for a year, and then it takes off. Well, then, if that's the case, then it's going to absolutely explode to the upside. Because if you think of the speed of what's happening with AI, the speed of what's happening with all technology, it's going to suck in all capital from everywhere.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In today's video, Raoul Pal discusses his exponential age thesis. Raoul will dive deep into why liquidity will resurge into H2 2024, why diversification is dead financial repression, the fourth turning, and how all these factors impact markets.
That's right. So now we've got the business cycle and liquidity cycle completely dominating everything. And people don't want it to be that easy. They don't want it to be that easy. They love complexity because it makes people sound smart. Simplicity, they think, is stupid. But the simplicity seems to work extremely well. You know, that whole bell curve meme, you're better to be on the left side, which is number go up. The right side of that is number go up as well. And that's because you understand all of the mechanisms that's at play. Everybody in the middle of the bell curve is arguing why the market's going to crash, why everybody's going to go to war, why money printing doesn't lead to liquidity that gets into the system, why the plumbing doesn't make that happen, all of the stuff that we get. But the number go up. And, you know, I just think it's a very, very powerful force that people don't want to believe because it questions their belief system. Because most people actually, a lot of people love to see stock market crashes. It's like this weird thing. So right now, crypto as an asset class is $2.5 trillion. If I just use the log regression channel of Bitcoin and just project out the growth rates of crypto versus the internet and assume it slows down massively from here, it gets to $100 trillion by about 2032. Now, $100 trillion, we throw around numbers like 100 trillion. You've got to understand, $100 trillion, we're creating $97.5 trillion of new wealth. That is the largest generation of wealth in the shortest period of time in all recorded human history. When you understand that the S&P 500 is a $50 trillion market cap, and that took 100 years of value accretion by the US economy and those companies, this is double that. We've never seen anything like it. So it's an extraordinary opportunity. Now, of that 100 trillion, will Bitcoin be 50% dominant in that market? No. Because to get to 100 trillion, we have to be using the whole blockchain infrastructure for things like the finance system, for Web 2 businesses, for all of the other elements, not just the moneyness element or the store of wealth element that Bitcoin has. So if the world were 100 trillion, what is the value of Bitcoin in that? Maybe it's 20 trillion. Maybe it's 15 trillion, whatever that number is. So it's the overall space that's going to see the growth.
Bitcoin rebounded by 6.4% on July 6, reaching $56,975 after hitting a 5-month low the previous day. This recovery indicates that traders are beginning to overcome the bearish effects of Mt. Gox's $8 billion BTC reimbursement, and the recent BTC sell-offs by the US and German governments. Top crypto analysts and influencers have been working to downplay the impact of Mt. and the BTC sell-offs by the German and US governments on Bitcoin's long-term bullish outlook. That includes Kai-Young Ju, founder and CEO of on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant, who reminded traders that the governments had control over $8 billion worth of BTC, which is merely 4% of the total $225 billion that has flown into the Bitcoin market since 2023. In other words, the Bitcoin market has adequate liquidity to absorb the impact of government-led BTC sell-offs, especially amid fears that the German government may dump the remainder of its Bitcoin holdings, about 42,000 BTC as of July 6, in the coming days. Similarly, independent market analyst Trader Tardigrade likens the current Bitcoin market sell-off to past black swan events, which led to sharp rebounds and subsequent extended bull cycles. He noted, in 2016, 2020 and 2024, $BTC moved in the same pattern. Besides 2020, $BTC fakeout was seen below the trendline. After reclaiming above trendline, a bull run follows. Analyst Rect Capital argues that the current Bitcoin market sell-off is part of the typical cycle that occurs after a Bitcoin halving event. In this post-halving trend, Bitcoin often experiences a significant price drop for several months as the market adjusts to the new supply dynamics. However, as the reduced supply begins to impact the market, the price eventually recovers and often enters a strong upward trend due to lower supply and higher demand driving prices up.
When I divide the Nasdaq by Bitcoin, Nasdaq's down 99.97%. What's the fucking point? You just own the strongest asset. If everything is correlated and driven by the same forces, you end up with a logical conclusion, which is you only need to own one asset, which is crypto, which is bizarre. And then the game is, okay, which crypto is outperforming? You do charts of anything versus Bitcoin and anything versus Ethereum, and if anything looks like it's breaking out versus those, that was Sol. So now my job is to look at anything versus Solana.
Yeah.
But Solana's a big project, so if it's a small thing, maybe WIF or one of the memes, I'll have a small position, but I won't put my life savings into it. But Solana's big enough, has big enough network adoption effects for me to say that's fine.
Bitcoin's sharp recovery today takes cues from the U.S. stock market's rally to a record high. In a post-holiday session with thin trading volume, the S&P 500 reached its 34th record high of the year. Equities rebounded after a volatile period following data that showed a slowdown in U.S. hiring and the highest jobless rate since 2021. As a result of disappointing jobs data, Wall Street bets are now pointing to a 72% probability of a rate cut in September, compared to 55.4% a month ago. Rate cuts are typically bullish for Bitcoin and other riskier assets, given they reduce the opportunity cost of holding lower-yielding U.S. Treasury notes. For instance, Bitcoin Exchange-Traded Funds (ETF) attracted $143.1 million to its coffers on July 5 when the U.S. jobs data was released. Earlier in the week, these ETF had witnessed 2 days of consecutive outflows. Bitcoin's price recovery further accompanies a strong jump in its funding rates in the futures market, even though open interest, OI, has declined significantly in the same period. As of July 6, Bitcoin futures' funding rate was net positive at 0.178% per week, up from 0.044% per week 2 days ago. Meanwhile, the OI, which reflects the total number of unsettled contracts, dropped to around $28 billion, from $31.64 billion in the same period. Simply put, traders are confident in the upward price movement and are willing to pay higher rates to maintain their long positions. Bitcoin's lower OI and higher funding rates further indicate a phase where weaker hands are exiting their positions while more confident traders or institutions are maintaining or increasing their exposure, anticipating a price increase. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.